Hello, and welcome to the altar. This is my own custom mod pack I've been working on for quite a while now. And while there's still quite a lot to do, I wanted to do like a little playthrough series just to help me figure out where I'm at and what needs to be added and everything. What you see today should be out on CurseWord by the time I post this video, hopefully. And that includes all of the research that I've added and still working on the first chapter. But yeah, we're going to do a little playthrough so I can figure out if anything needs to be changed and so I can keep track of what's going on. So I guess let's just get started. Now in this pack, we're going to start with the create mod, and I know that happens a lot. A lot of mod packs use that as their first tech mod. But here, it's going to be different and it's going to be fun. Now, if you've played Create before, you'll know that we need to find and craft some andesite alloy in order to create our first machines. And that's still the case here, but there is something blocking our path from doing that right away. Let me find some andesite and some iron, I think. Oh, this first quest here gives us a prospector, so we can actually see all of the ores in the area. Once we find a good amount, we should just be able to dig down and go for some mining. Ah, and there's some andesite here too, which is lovely. Ah, here we go. So way down here, this vein will contain pyrite, which can be smelted into iron, chalcopyrite, which can be smelted into copper, and then both copper and iron ore. Okay, I didn't get a lot, but this small amount of iron should be able to get us through the beginning, and then we can come back once we have some better mining capabilities. I'm going to use waypoints to get myself around, just to speed up the process for me. And I found this little island to declare my home. It's a little infested, though. Beat these guys up a little. This is on easy difficulty? What the heck is happening? There's so many guys. As the night comes to an end, I have another task that I need to complete, and that is going to be to steal some carrots from these guys. And I'll steal the potatoes too. And a bed, please. Thank you. I am going to start farming these carrots, potatoes, and some wheat. Not only for food, but we will use them to make things in the future. Now let's get some of this iron smelting up. Oh, but wait, we don't have any fuel. Alright then, let's make some charcoal. Oh, that's supposed to be hidden. Anyway, we can't make charcoal yet. We're gonna need something a little stronger to turn our logs into fuel. That's okay though, we can find a nice big coal vein and mine some of this up. Ah, but raw coal needs to be smelted into coal. Need some logs. There we go, that ought to do it. So raw coal just gets melted into coal that we can use to smelt our metal. And then once we have some iron, we can make some andesite alloy, right? Wrong. We can make it, but can't do anything about it. It's locked behind research. Wait, I actually just wasted that because I can't pick it up. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's precious stuff right there. Okay, we'll click. Let's get this research going. Right now, these are just done through quests, but later a dedicated thing will be used to research things. But let's get this one here. We just need to submit one of these primitive research bottles. And these are really cheap. Just take some basic early game materials just to make it go around and collect some things. So we'll need some carrots actually. Speed that up. And then the only other thing we need is an amethyst shard, which may be tricky to find. I forgot that there was a mini-map. I should be able to see where it is now. Ah, there's one. Let's mine towards that. Ah, just barely out of reach. Wooden pickaxe. Alright, let's grab some of these guys. We do need to grab the big clusters because we can't do anything with these blocks right now. Once we do have everything, we can make our first couple of primitive research bottles. And then let's unlock andesite alloy. I'm just going to show this off because that's how it's going. But right now, we don't have anything available in the andesite alloy area. And we need to submit this quest in order to keep progressing through the create chapter. But once I submit this, we will unlock all of this andesite alloy related things here. It didn't consume my research for some reason. Oh, it's just a visual glitch. It did go away. So yeah, that's how we unlock that. And now we can craft the andesite alloy. I think the ones we made earlier gone. That's okay. With this, we also unlock andesite tools. These are going to make all of our crafting components. And there's a couple of useful mining tools. First, we'll need to make a hammer. And then we can use this to make plates. Now, these tools should have the same stats as wrought iron materials, which is what you usually craft in Jetlagg. So this is just going to be a replacement for those. We'll also need a file. This allows us to make rods, but first I want a mining hammer. Mining hammers are amazing because they allow us to dig in a 3x1 area. And that's going to speed this up so much. So now we can just mine as much iron as our heart desires. And I'm going to dig up a whole bunch more coal while we're at it. There are some other andesite alloy tools that we'll need. And we're stuck making plates this way right now as well. It is very expensive though. Anyway, let's craft the saw. Wrench. We'll also want a screwdriver. A knife. And then... what am I missing? We need the wire cutters, which are kind of annoying to craft. As for the mining tools, we can craft the spade for 3x1 digging on things like dirt and sand. And finally, an axe. And this will allow us to chop down entire trees at once. And that should take care of business in the andesite alloy tools department. Looking a little low in the food department though. Anywho, we're now stuck behind another research. So let's grab coal processing 1. And that's going to unlock the coke oven and unlock charcoal and coke. Boom, boom, boom. So everything should be available here now. The coke oven just now takes some andesite alloy to make. And then coke oven bricks are the same, just taking clay and sand. I'm going to go ahead and grab a lot of sand and clay. We're going to end up building more than one coke oven. Oh, whoops, that's my farm. Oh, man. Once we do have a good amount, though, we'll use our saw to make the wooden form. Then we can use the knife to make the brick wooden form. And now we can make our compressed coke clay. We're going to want a lot of this stuff. Hopefully this is good. There we go. Then we can just smelt all this up. Then once we have the actual bricks, we can make our coke oven. We'll need the controller as well, which does take 4 of these. There we go. While we're waiting on those, let's check out our farm and grab a couple more carrots to make some research packs. Because with 3 research packs, we can unlock the next thing. And this is going to unlock the hand crank for us. Which once we unlock some create machines, which that will be the only way to generate rotational power for the machines. Because we do not have water wheels yet. So we'll be able to make this guy once we have the treated wood from the coke oven. Which I should be able to grab here. We just build this nice big multi-block, like a cube. And pop the controller in the front. Cool, and now we can do 2 things. We can turn logs into charcoal, and we can turn charcoal into coke. Both of these, though, produce creosote, which we'll need. So eventually, having 2 coke ovens is going to allow us to do both of those at the same time. Since we do pretty much have an infinite fuel supply with logs, we don't have a way of farming these yet, though. We will be able to after getting some bigger create machines. That is a little ways away. Let's start cooking up some of these logs into charcoal. Then with the second coke oven, which we can actually wall share with this other one, saving us some blocks, we can turn this charcoal into coke. Charcoal is a little bit of a slower recipe, so it's not going to be perfect. If we wanted that to be the case, we would need 3 charcoal ovens and 2 normal coke ovens. Unless my math is wrong. Then we do need a bucket to grab this creosote. And we can start making some treated wood. For now, that's just going to be some planks surrounding the bucket. Cool, and now we should be able to start making crate machines. I just need one more carrot, though, so I can research all these crate machines. Then we can get building. I'm also starving, if you can't tell. I know there's somebody screaming at me to eat right now. Yeah, so there we go. There's a good source of charcoal, and now we can make coke as well. And creosote can actually be used as fuel too. So let's just store these guys away. Alright, more carrots have been acquired. And now we can make a couple more research bottles. And we can unlock some crate machines. Ooh yeah, cool. So, still no way of automatically generating power. We gotta power everything with the hand crank. But we can already make a couple of nice things just with unlocking these. For example, the mechanical press is going to allow us to turn our andesite alloy into plates instead of needing the hammer to craft to it. Making the fan will allow us to cook things automatically, which will be very nice. So let's go ahead and craft the mechanical press. The andesite casing recipe is a little different too, and it's going to be this expensive for quite a little while. This shouldn't be here, but in the future we'll be able to craft them a lot easier. Alright, so there's a casing and the press. And I need the hand crank too. Boom, boom, cool. Now to get our press to work, we're gonna need to put it up in the air where it can slam down on the item we want to press. So if we throw a piece of andesite there and crank it, we should get a plate. So now we could also make the encased fan. I'm not going to yet though. Not too worried about smelting at the moment. Let's go ahead and grab a couple more research bottles to unlock andesite research. So now all of these future quests are going to cost both primitive research and andesite research, which is it's a little complicated. But this is to make things nice and difficult and make sure you have your create mastered as you progress. So we'll want the mechanical mixer. We also need the press in order to make rings. That is the only way of making these. So we do need both the mixer and the basin. This bad boy costs double plates, so he's a little expensive. Oh, that's not good. Gotta eat, I guess. Whoops. So double plates are made with 2 plates stacked on top of each other. And we can grab this guy too. So, our basin is gonna go below the mixer. And we'll need a little extra hog wheel here to get the rotation going the right direction. But then we can just rotate this and this will mix just fine. So let's see if we can get some materials together to make andesite research. So let's take a look at what this costs. We need zinc, which I actually haven't mined any yet. We're going to need to put creosote in there, andesite alloy rods, cogwheels, and some coke. Not the nicest recipe in the world, but I think it's fun. Hopefully. So let's see what we can do about this. First we need some zinc. Probably our best option for finding zinc is going to be to run around caves and look for it. Since the Regtech ore vein generates in the nether. But there are some create zinc ores lying around. Alright, so we have some zinc nuggets. We can easily get buckets of creosote. Now we just need some andesite rods, and of course a couple of cogwheels. Then if we throw all of this together in the basin, whoops. And and give this guy a good crank. Should see some andesite research finished. Yes, perfect. And now we can already unlock a couple more things. I mainly am gonna want the water wheels, which is gonna allow us to generate some create rotation automatically instead of needing the hand crank. And we'll also go ahead and unlock blaze burners. Or I probably should have done this first. I need one more research bottle though. Amethyst is a little bit of a difficult thing to get. Yeah, I definitely recommend finding multiple amethyst clusters if you're able to. At least for now, this is the only way we have of getting these. And these generate pretty slow. Okay, let's go ahead and unlock logistics as well. This does unlock more than just conveyors. It's not set up in the quest yet, but this unlocks pretty much anything relating to do with conveyors and logistical stuff, like depots and funnels and chutes, I believe. And anything that requires brass is still gated though. So we can now make a depot. I'm still trying to determine when a better form of storage should come around. Like when you should be able to lock AE2. It's not going to be cheap, probably. Oh, why'd I just make a chest? But that may not come around to a later video. Once I figure out when a good place to add it would be through the gameplay. Anywho, let's grab this depot. And we can replace our shoddy little log here with this. And we can actually put multiple items on here. And they'll stay instead of just floating. So that'll help that out a lot. Now let's also see if we can make a water wheel. That's right. I'm gonna avoid the larger ones for now because they're pretty much twice as expensive as the normal ones. Let's see. Pretty much all the same stuff. I think I like this too. I think having to use the hand crank is kind of neat because usually it's just like obsolete. Because you can craft water wheels without any prior other materials. Alright, so there's 2 water wheels. One of these we're going to use to power our main line of create machines that we're using to craft everything. So the way that this works is we'll use some water in order to get it to spin. If I can place it right. And then we'll need to get that rotational power up to our press. So I'll need a couple more cogwheels, actually. Alright, with a couple more cogwheels, this should work. We just connect some shafts, and this guy will work automatically now. So we can press plates. We'll let this guy run in the background. So I can use the other water wheel. We're going to automate our coke oven here. Oh, that's definitely not right. Well, this is what I was going to use to automate the coke oven, but I actually had to fix the recipe. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and the belt recipe should be fixed now. So this material here, the crude insulator, is the replacement for rubber. So we'll need some sheets of this in order to make belts. And this insulator is also going to help us make cables and circuits here soon, once we unlock some GregTech stuff. But for now, how do we make this? We need to mix together sulfur, honey, and rubber. Sulfur is going to be the easiest. We just need to head to the nether. Honey's going to be a little more complicated. Maybe I'll change this to not take a blaze burner, since I don't want to gate it behind the blaze burner. I want this to be its separate thing. Alright, second fix. Honey should now... Oh, that's still there. But it should now just take a honey block and not require any heating. Although it's supposed to have the honeycomb one too. And fixed. Yes, beautiful. So we can extract honeycombs into honey and honey blocks. So this does mean that we need to go find some bees and start farming those guys. If we're getting bees, though, I do kind of want to give them a little house to live in. I don't want them to just be flying all over the place. So let's see if I can do that. Okay, so I've got a little work done on maybe planning a base. This will be our lovely bee room, and I do kind of want glass, but glass isn't super easy to get at the moment. And then we just come through here, and this will be where I have some farms set up, and we'll get some automatic create farms going hopefully soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Okay, I had to find a different beehive, but once there's enough honey in here, we can and grab some honeycombs. That allows us to build a beehive. We can actually take some of these guys home with us. Alright, great. Let's grab a couple of these guys. Welcome, friends. Okay, so you guys need a house. And you need some flowers so you can make me more honey. Now you guys should get to work making some more honey so I can extract that and turn it into rubber. While we're waiting for them though, let's go get some diamonds so that I can go to the nether. Hey, diamonds acquired. Let's get a pickaxe so that I can get some obsidian. Then we'll build a portal and head to the nether. And let's get a whole bunch of sulfur. Let's finish off today by making these crude insulators to make mechanical belts. So we're going to need to mix together sulfur, honey, and liquid rubber. Liquid rubber we get from sticky resin and glass residue. So I built up this third coke oven here because in order to get glass residue and in order to make glass, we'll need this guy. So glass is now made in the coke oven from glass dust. And glass dust is made by mixing tiny piles of flint dust and quartz sand. And that will need to be heated as well. So we need a blaze burner, don't we? I did unlock that, right? Yep. So we'll just need to make that. Alright, and with a blaze burner, we can head to the nether once again. And now we actually need to find a nether fortress to grab a blaze from. Oh, is this a blaze? Yes, perfect. Snatch. And now we have a blaze burner. So with this guy, we're going to put it under the mixer. And then we can use any sort of fuel in order to sort of power it. And it will allow us to heat the basin in order to mix higher materials. So for example, the glass dust that we need requires a heated blaze burner. We'll now need to get quartz sand and tiny piles of flint dust. The only way to get these is by milling flint and sand. So we'll now need a millstone. Yay. Okay, millstone. I need wrench. And bam. This guy's a little awkward to set up because you need a gear facing the same way as the mixer. But I think in order to set this guy up, we'll need a vertical gearbox, which also not cheap, by the way. But we can connect this up and then connect up our mixer. And then that should be powering this as well. I made a couple of chutes and a couple of barrels so that anything that gets put into this top barrel is going to go through the chute, get processed in the millstone, and then come out through this bottom chute. So we can throw a whole bunch of sand in here, and it will grind it down into quartz sand. And then we'll throw flint in here in order to get flint dust as well. And we'll come back in a little bit once this is all processed. Let's go check on our bees as well. Oh yes, lots of honey for me. Once we do have our flint dust, we can turn it into tiny piles, and then go ahead and mix these two together. And if we power this, this will start mixing. Oh, not enough speed, hold on. All we gotta do to speed this up is attach a large cogwheel to a small one. That will double the speed it's processing. And assuming that we have enough strength to run this, we do. It's still not fast enough though, so I'm gonna need one more of these large to small cogwheels, and then I'm probably gonna need another water wheel. Oh, actually I don't need another water wheel. This is able to handle this. So let's try powering this again. And it should start mixing these two together, and that will make glass dust. Just gonna borrow some of this to start smelting in our coke oven. This is gonna give us a piece of glass and some glass residue. Sort of just like some waste that we can't turn into actual glass, but we can use it to form some weak rubber. So we'll need enough of this to get a bucket, and then we can start mixing the rubber. Yes. So let's grab a bucket of this, and let's swap this guy out so that you can make some rubber for me. The good news is that, actually, oh, I want this to be over here. Yes, I made a second basin so that I can separate these two. So what we have here is a piece of sticky resin that we get from cutting down rubber trees. The good news is that making this does turn into a full bucket of rubber, and it doesn't even take that much glass residue. So we can then take our rubber, we're gonna take a honeycomb and a piece of sulfur, and if we heat this, actually just gonna throw all of these in there, but if we heat this, I forgot the mixer, oops, boom, this should make crude insulator? Oh wait, it has to make honey first, I forgot. Yeah, so the honeycombs get processed into liquid honey first, and then that should know to make the crude insulator. Yes, wonderful. Uh-oh, can we not take it out? You know what, we may have to press this right here and now. If I leave the crude insulator in there and use this, will it make sheets? Yes. Beautiful. So this is just gonna be my crude insulator basin. It's gonna have all these random things in there, since I can't make enough of it to take out a full bucket. But that gives us 6 sheets there, which we can then finally make some mechanical belts. Jeez, all of that work for some rubber. So what I wanted to do with this mechanical belt is automate the coke ovens. What I think I can do is if I get these guys moved a little bit, just so that these guys are 2 separate coke ovens. I'm just gonna be lazy right now and connect it to this other one. Now, in order to fully automate these guys, we'll need a couple of these coke oven hatches. We're gonna put one on each guy. Now, we can use the andesite funnels coming out of here. So, in this one, we're gonna be making charcoal from wood. So we'll have this output the charcoal, and it's already started. Don't want that yet. We are, though, going to want a belt connected between these two. Then we can have this spit out the charcoal. This is going to go along this line and go right into this coke oven. So all we need to do is power this. Oh, that is the wrong way. There we go. These guys should know to go into the coke oven and start making coke right away. All that would be left to do would be to automate some logs. which I hope we can get into next time. We are a bit a ways from being able to make those large contraptions, but we'll be able to do that, and we'll be able to fully automate coke and creosote, and we'll get some fluid processing, so we'll get pipes coming out of here to store all of the creosote, and it's gonna be awesome. But I think that's where I'm gonna stop today. I really hope you guys enjoy this series and enjoy playing this mod pack. If you would like to, it is available on CurseForge. Also, feel free to join the Discord and, comment on it. Let me know what's going on. Send pictures of your playthrough. I would love that. Basically, any feedback you have to offer is going to be much appreciated. But with that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.